Jody here. I want to show you how to fix a broken applique. This is one that's very expensive. Has the control touch. You can't see it, it's not lit up. Doing this at my desk. This is an applique, I believe off a Ford, that got broke. And just instead of throwing it away, I thought I'd try a solder gun. You can get this at Lowe's. It's pretty simple. You put butane in it. This is the brand. But anyway, we're going to weld this back together. I'll show you how it was broke. And we're going to use a zip tie. Zip tie is a lot of times the same type of plastic that's in appliques. It's just a poor boy fix, but you can see how that melts that together. Push it down in there. Got a little bit hot, but nobody's going to take it apart and grade it. Turn this down just a little bit. There's a crack. I don't know if you can see the crack. Broke all through there. There we go. We're going to knock hot butter now. Like I said, this is not going to be perfect, but it'll definitely not worth throwing away. I mean, if you get it fixed and cosmetically, we'll get the front cleaned up. There we go. This here, this is the two-sided tape. I'm going to burn through it. It's not something you can melt. It'll have to be cleaned off. Method and do it on the front. We're going to stitch this across here. So I'm going to stitch this up and then I'll show you what we'll do once we get this cleaned up. Just like so. Let's do the half moons, just like we did on the back side. Just a nice little. I'm getting this sanded out, just kind of filling this in. You can see where I made my little, where my ribbon went. We still got a little ways to go, but we'll get this all polished out a little bit here. And check back. Sitting here taking my time. Can't get too rough with it because this piece is strong that we welded on, but it still can break if you just get too forceful with it. So we're going to have just a little bit of scar here, but we'll clean that up when we get to the end of the video. You kind of want to stay away from this area. This is where your keypad is, and you don't want to skin that up too bad. But anyway, we're getting there. It just takes a little bit of sand, and this stuff's really hard to sand. Sanded that out with some 320. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put just a little bit of filler over that. Okay, we just sanded the rest of this out with some 320. You can see that it's welded on the back using a solder gun. See, pretty strong, but we're going to use a little bit of filler on it. I'm going to use this 3M. You can get any kind of filler, but this is one of my favorites. You can use putty, anything. Okay, we just mixed our putty. And we put just a little bit on here. You don't want to put, I use a razor blade, that way it doesn't put a lot of product on there, because all we're doing is filling in the little rough spot. We're going to let that dry and come back and sand that out. Now we're going to come back and take a Scotch pad, sand this down, and put some primer in. Spray away glass cleaner. We've scuffed it with our scuff pad. Just come back and clean it. Off. Make sure it's good and dry. Okay, and we're going to use some Spies Heckler primer. You can use thin primer or any kind of primer. Dust it on there. Try not to get on the keypad too much. We don't want a lot of buildup on the keypad because the light is a luminance look through it. Alright, we're going to let that dry. And now we're going to come and we're going to tape off where this is where the numbers are for the combination. The reason I've done that is we're going to paint over that, we're just not going to put very much paint on it. Because it still needs to be able to illuminate through it. And paint over that. Alright, we're going to let this dry for 10 or 15 minutes and we'll come back and do another coat. We got the first coat of paint on there. We're going to come back now. We're going to put the second coat and we're going to leave this taped off. See how much this is covered. If we get too much paint in that area, you won't be able to see your numbers come through the paint. They will come through the paint. They won't be quite as bright as it was originally, but hey, it's a $200 applique, so you know, an hour fix, you save yourself $200. Now we've got our second coat on there. We're going to take this off, and that's going to be a little exposed, but it doesn't have any paint on it from the repair. So we want the digits to be able to come through, but we still got to put one more coat on this. Just going to sand that out, and then once we get that all sanded, we're going to come back and put the final coat on it. Okay, we got that all sanded out. So now we're going to tack rag, just a cheap tack rag. Just pick up any lint and fuzz off of it, because now we're going to put the final coat on it. Notice how I didn't put any paint on that. That's for a reason, so the letters, the numbers come through the paint. You can't put a ton of paint on there, you won't be able to see them, but as long as there's not more than a coat or so, you should be okay. Always do a test pattern, get your spray paint ready. You want to just come back and just lightly put even coats on it. We've already put 2 starter coats, so we don't need a lot. And that's it. We're gonna let that dry, and it'll be done. We just saved ourselves over $200. Here's the finished product. Semi-gloss. And you can see the back side of it where we repaired it. You kind of see the semi-gloss on it. And you can see where we repaired it on the back side, which doesn't matter, you're not going to see that. All we have to do is clean it up, and she's ready to go back on the car.